What is going on, guys? Today I bring you round 9. So, the final round of Family Cup Open 2023. We are finally finishing covering this tournament and going right into the next one. So, in this round, last round, I got paired up against José Pinto, 1459 rated player. And yeah, I just wanted to, get a win on the last round to still manage to gain some points of elo. Um, but yeah, let's see how the game went. So I had the black pieces, my opponent had the white pieces. He started with d4 and went d5, and he went bishop f4, the London system. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I used to have some trouble, like, facing the London. I just didn't really like facing the London. But honestly, lately I actually have been quite fine with playing against the London, to be honest. I like the setup with c5 hitting the center immediately and posing some questions to white. My pawn went e3, I went knight c6, and he went c3, so this is pretty standard. Uh, right now I went for knight f6, my pawn went knight f3, and I went queen b6, and my opponent went queen c2. Honestly, this might be some sort of theory, but I haven't been up to date with my London studying, to be honest. So I don't really know. I think this is like an idea of doing this kind of setup with an early queen b6 to pressure b2. But honestly, I don't really know what's the main move now in this position. In the game, I went for bishop g4, which is not that good, but it's also hard to punish, I guess. My opponent went knight e5, which is pretty logical. I traded on e5, it took with the bishop, and here, um, you know, I had a bit of a think, and I played e6, which is just a, it's not a bad move, but it's so unnecessary, as you'll see, because my opponent has this simple continuation of bishop takes on f6, g takes on f6, and now uh, queen a4 check, which forces me to play either king e7 or king d8, and I lose my rights to castling. Uh, but let's go back a little bit here. I had a simple plan of playing knight d7. Now my opponent will probably move his bishop. I would guess so, to g3, for example, and now I can just play e6 and have easy development here. Bishop e7 castles, bishop can come to f5 as well, maybe h5 g6, rook c8, and it's just a simple game of chess where both sides will have to come up with a plan. But you know what, I just played e6. I almost, of course, I saw that my opponent could play queen a4 check, but I don't know. Like, maybe I was in the mood to complicate the game as much as possible. And yeah, if you want a really complicated game, I guess doing e6 is kind of a good move because it will surely lead into a sharper middle game, and that's what happened. So fast forward here, king e7. My opponent played knight bd2, and here, okay, what can I say? It's my advantage of having my king in the middle like this, uncoordinated pieces, and also double pawns. I guess the only advantage that I have is the bishop pair here, which can be nice, especially if the position opens up, but it's a double-edged sword because my king is in the middle. Do I really want to open the position? I mean, maybe later, but yeah, I still have to, somehow solve the issues of my pieces still being stuck and my king in the middle. But okay. The position calls this equal. Slightly better for black, but it's really hard to play for black. But let's see how I did. So here I took on d4. He took back with the c pawn, and now I played bishop h6, and I missed a good move here. Funnily enough, I could have taken on b2, which I considered, but I quickly said no, this doesn't work because of um, rook of b1. But funnily enough, I actually here I completely missed, and my opponent also missed that there's rook c8, which is very funny. If my opponent takes on b2, it's checkmate in 2 moves. So he can't take back the queen. And yeah, this is pretty gangster, not gonna lie, to play like this. The play here with best play, it would continue something like f3, attacking the bishop and also giving a square for white's king. Rook c1 check, rook takes c1, queen takes c1, king e2 to protect the knight, and now bishop f5, and we have this crazy position where my opponent can take on a7, and I guess I can go queen b2, and we have a crazy position where both kings are in the middle. And yeah, honestly, if this happened in the game, I would probably be very happy, because now my play is more justified this way. Played bishop h6, and okay, this move pretty much I made this move to be able to connect my rooks and to, develop my h rook. And yeah, it kind of looks weird. This bishop is not doing much on this diagonal, unfortunately. But okay. Um, Bishop d3 makes a lot of sense by my opponent. Here I played bishop h5, rerouting my bishop. My bishop on g4 was doing nothing. And if I move the rook, this pawn is hanging, so I need to, block with my own bishop. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because my opponent is almost fully developed. He just needs to castle, and I still haven't put enough pressure on his position or occupied the open file. So, like, I'm running a little bit low on time. That's it. My opponent played knight b3, makes a lot of sense, going into c5. Here I play bishop g6, right on time. Here my opponent took, which I was happy. Although, yeah, I mean, maybe he could have played knight c5 instead of taking, but okay, taking also doesn't look that bad. But now I undouble my pawns, and my pawns kind of look, they kind of look good here. I mean, at least I undoubled them, so okay. But my opponent plays knight c5, and yeah, this is a good move, putting the knight on a really good square, and threatening queen d7 check. So I defended with the rook h d8. My opponent castled, and I played queen c6, offering a queen trade. I was happy with the queen trade, honestly, because I didn't really feel comfortable with my position. So if I could simplify it, I think I would be doing quite well. So my opponent denied the queen trade with the queen b4, which is kind of annoying because this, threat of discovered attack is real, and I have to be careful. Allowing knight b7 would be knight b7 with check would be disastrous. So I actually first I keep the queen with the a5. My opponent took on b7, which I was expecting more like something like queen um a3, honestly, because the thing with the queen b7, it's not that it's a bad move, but it simplifies the position way too much. And here I was very happy because I was no longer gonna have issues with my king. The game would be simplified, and I think that benefits me a bit because my king was very sus there. But okay, we get a simplification, and of course after rook b8, I'm gonna win back the pawn on b2, and my opponent challenged the rook. I defend it, and we trade a bunch of pieces, and my opponent plays a4. And here, I actually am better. This endgame is clearly better for me. Pretty much my rook is very active on the b file. My king is closer to the center. The only real issue with my position is this minor piece is not doing anything useful. And here I play rook b4 after thinking for a while, because I noticed that my position was way better right now than it was like 3 or 5 moves ago. So, rook b4, it made sense to me because I'm putting pressure on this pawn, so almost, not letting this knight develop freely, because I will always be targeting this pawn. But my opponent actually surprised me with a knight d3, which yeah, I wasn't really expecting. I thought that he couldn't really move his knight because he's losing this pawn on a4. But now my opponent plays rook b1, and I was very impressed because like this idea of giving up the pawn on the a file to get the open b file for his rook and to infiltrate. I thought like, whoa, my opponent is really playing good. Like, wow, I wasn't expecting this. And I started getting scared because I was like, bro, this can be very dangerous because, like, he's gonna check me on b7. I'm gonna move up, and then he's gonna start taking my pawns on the king side. And, like, my bishop is hanging. These pawns are very weak. And yeah, I thought that I was in big trouble here. Actually, this is more of a bluff because the computer still prefers my position. I have quite a few moves to keep the advantage going, but I started getting scared, to be honest. Here, the engine says that e5 is the best move, although, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to understand that I can allow this. So after takes, f takes on e5, the opponent, like, okay, that's the thing. He can't really check right now because his king still needs some loot. So, but after knight takes e5, okay, bishop g7. Yeah, I guess the computer sees ways to put pressure on white, but okay, I played king d6, which still retains some advantage. I think it makes sense to dodge checks in the future. My opponent brought the king on f1 to not have back rank issues, and here I played rook c4. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, king d6 wasn't the best. I should have played e5 as I showed, or bishop f8. But yeah, king d6 kind of is the third best move, but loses most of the advantage. And all of a sudden, after rook c4, I kind of wanted to challenge this rook. First of all, my rook wasn't doing much on a4, and if he brings the rook, I don't know, to b7, I wanted to probably challenge it with rook c7. Honestly, I wasn't really looking for ways to win this position. I was more so trying to neutralize him because I felt like I was worse even though I was up a pawn, just because like these pawns are so weak here, and my bishop is so bad compared to his knight. It will take so much time to actually bring the bishop back to like a good square. And yeah, I wasn't feeling really good, I have to be honest. After rook c4, my opponent played rook a1, and yeah, I mean, I'm gonna lose the pawn. There's no real way to defend. I think we were both getting low on the clock here. I played e5 and I offered a draw, and my opponent quickly accepted it, which I was very, very happy about because, as I said, I wasn't feeling good about my position at all. But yeah, this was the game. I think my opponent was a bit shocked that I offered a draw because I'm higher rated. I'm up a pawn, although I'm gonna be down a pawn. But yeah, the computer calls it equal. But honestly, I just wasn't in the right headspace. I felt like I was getting outplayed, and we just ended up drawing the last game. Ended up losing like 7 or 8 points. This tournament wasn't the best. Was a bit disappointed by my play, but we may move on to the next one in the next episode. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this game, and next tournament will be filled with exciting games. So make sure to stay subscribed, like, comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.